I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's Tuesday, December 21st, 2021, 6 p.m. The meeting of the Greensburg Water Board is called to order. This time, please silence all your electronic devices. To comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that's available on the table in the back of the rooms. Can we have a roll call, please?
Brian Nobby.
Here.
Frank Massey.
Here.
Brian Maddox.
Here.
Tony Higginbotham.
Here.
And Robin Meyer.
Here.
Thank you.
You all received a copy of the minutes, and I believe an amended set of minutes were sent out most recently. Thank you for catching that, Mr. Frank. Sure. I appreciate that. The most recent minutes you have is what we'd like to approve. Changes talking about the unused project funds we talked about last month. If there's no other changes, we'll consider those approved. So moved. Thank you. Any old business to come forward? New business. We are going to forego the employee recognition tonight. We have a new schedule next year, so January 4th, I think, will be our next meeting, and we will have an employee recognition at that time. HNTB update there.
Good evening, everyone. I'll just cover a few items. There's not a lot to report. We're still working on a lot of the punch list items. They have made some headway on quite a few of those. We did get the washer and dryer installed last month. We got all the duct work in Area 10, or the field ops building, finally hooked up and complete. For the most part, Rick's staff have moved in somewhat, so they're taking their time, which is good to get everything in place where they want it, so that's good. A couple other issues. We had issue with the generator. It tripped, and I noticed when Rick was trying to do his normal exercising of that generator, we were concerned about the possibility of not being working if they need to, if you had a power outage. So we got several people down here, I guess it was last week. We went through it. I think we figured out that we think we solved it. What we're going to do from now, Rick's testing it on a weekly basis. What we couldn't determine is what caused one of the main breakers to trip. And then once it tripped and it was out, you couldn't get the generator to start. So we're trying to, we couldn't figure anything out other than one theory was that somebody just tripped it and it didn't reset it. We had some vendors out inspecting it and doing some work on inside of that. So we hope that's what it was, but you tested this week, right?
Monday.
So it worked there. So we're gonna go through 2 or 3 weeks to make sure there isn't any issues with that. So and we got an issue with one of the makeup air units, our heating unit for the hypo room. They are coming out tomorrow to do a look at that. It worked a week and a half ago when they did their final test and balancing, and for some reason it's not working as of yesterday. So so we're working on getting that restored as well tomorrow. They're coming down tomorrow. Because we couldn't get the heat wasn't working in the hypo room, one of the punch list items was to recoat the floor in there. They tried to coat it about a month ago, and either they didn't have the right temperature or they had the curing, the components of the two-part component wasn't quite mixed right, and it wasn't curing out. It didn't look like it was going to cure, so they had to scrape that off and have to recoat that. But they wanted to err on the side of caution, so they want to get that room up to at least 60 degrees, and the concrete is 60 degrees. So this morning, because the unit was down, it was only at about 40. So they're hopefully we'll get that unit fixed tomorrow and get it back online. And then, so instead of doing that coating this week, it's probably gonna be pushed to next week. So, let's see. That's the hypo room. The overhead door update. They were supposed to be here on the 27th of this month. We just got an update, and now it's been pushed to 11th of January, as they're supposed to have them on into their office. So, or they actually hope, I'm reading here, sorry, make delivery to their shop on the 13th, and they've promised us to contractor 2 crews, starting putting them in either 14th or the 17th at the very latest. So, and probably will take them about 3 to 5 days to get those all installed once they're here. So it looks like it's, you know, we keep reaching out to them on a weekly basis, trying to get updates, and it keeps getting pushed back. So, you know, we're kind of at the mercy of getting the material here. So until we get that, so and same thing on the pack system. We're told that they're waiting on one part for the wedding cone, and they're saying they're hoping to get something back from their vendors next week. So we've been calling them, and between us and Wilhelm, been calling them on a weekly basis, trying to hound them to get that resolved as well. Again, we're kind of at the mercy of a little bit of material, getting parts and equipment in there to do that. So those are the 2 big items we're still waiting on. So, and I will have to you next month a change order number 5. I was kind of holding off because of the pack, but with the pack we don't have that date. The current items, I think there's about a half a dozen items we're just going to do a change order for those, so that the contractor can get his subcontractors paid and that sort of thing. So that'll be for your meeting on the 4th. So, any questions?
The generator was working until it started having a problem, I guess, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it was working, everything was working fine.
And we could start the generator, you could transfer it by hand. It just wasn't, when you tried to test it for the automatic transfer switch, it wasn't picking up the signal, and it was tripped. And it's kind of puzzling. I still don't know exactly what caused it.
The Siemens guy actually showed up around 2 o'clock that afternoon, after we all met that morning. So we walked out to the transfer switch itself, and I opened it up for him, and he actually found a couple wires that were loose inside the transfer switch itself. So at that point, we kind of decided that we was going to let me do a load test once a week to make sure that the touchpad itself was going to continue to work. So we think we have it fixed, but one other thing that Darren was talking about is it did pop the main breaker at the generator itself, and it did it to us that day another time too, but we were transferring it back and forth real quick, so we don't know. The Siemens guy don't know if we could have possibly been doing it too quick to cause that. So
Again, a lot of those things are designed to protect the equipment, so sometimes they become more of a nuisance sometimes. But hopefully we'll get that resolved. So again, they're all still under warranty, so there's nothing to worry about that. So I'd rather it happen.
That was recent, so you only tested him once for 1 week so far?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that was last week. We had everybody down, and so he tested on Monday, so we'll test it again. I assume we'll test again sometime next week.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Time's winding down here.
It
isn't
is winding down. We are working on the modeling side of things. We are getting started on that as well. So we got the mapping of the model updated, and we're working on calibrating it now. So
Very good.
When we get final completion, are you still gonna come to all the meetings?
of course.
Okay, good.
I don't know what I'd do if I didn't come here.
Well, years, haven't you?
In so many years, I'll be here.
Awesome.
Very good. Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Rick?
Yes,
What
sir.
you want to talk about?
Good evening. In your packet, I have just a rough estimate. It's a price from Sam's Club. It's a stand-up ice chest. In the past, the fire department's been gracious enough to let us come down there every day and get ice out of their ice machine. During the summer, my guys, before they go out on the job site, they got igloo coolers that they have on the back of the truck. They go down there every morning, fill it up, and they've been real nice. But now we have the space for our own ice machine, so we don't have to bother the fire department anymore. So I was wondering if I could get, with the price you see in front of you, it seemed like about every other ice machine I looked at was either out of stock or something, so I just kind of printed this off to, this is about the size that we're looking for. If I could get the approval from the board to go up to maybe that amount, not necessarily that much, but it'd give me a little leniency in and trying to find something somewhere in stock, so.
Water board use an ice machine, Rick?
Yes,
Okay, good.
welcome to Cooney County, all the ice you want.
Just want to make sure.
I use the ice monthly for water samples also. I have to pack it in my cooler every month that I do water, which is every month for water samples, so it's gonna be used a lot.
I'll make a motion to, if you want to go up to that 1220 or?
Yes,
something
if you
like
don't mind, and like I said, I'll try to find the best deal that I can.
that. I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed with the same sign, please? Get your ice machine,
All
Rick.
right, thank you.
Very well. Anything else, Rick?
Well, just have the monthly report of operations. If you have any questions on it, I put it in there each month.
Anything outstanding to note?
Nope. Our plant's making good water. Well, we don't make it. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
We do not make it.
We do not make it.
I'm trying to believe we do not make it.
Rick, you have anything else for us?
No, sir.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I don't see a mayor for mayor's issues, so that's pretty much anything from the peanut gallery out here. You want? No? Well, this being the last meeting of the year, I want to, Rick and Donna, if you'll extend a Merry Christmas wishes from the board to your staff. Appreciate what you're doing. All your hard work all year long, and thanks to everybody who makes this board work. Thank you all for coming. You're all regulars here every month, so we appreciate being here. There's nothing else to come to the board. This meeting adjourned.